Today, I'm going to share with you an incredible way to retouch beauty images. And not just that, I'm going to share with you I can easily change the color of the eyes and also change the color of the lips using the Tamaraw Academy panel. And to follow along, I'll be leaving the link where you can get this software in the description below. And also, I'll be leaving the link where you can get this plugin in the description below as well. Let's jump right into it. So once you open your Photoshop, this plugin is super easy to use. All you have to do after you get this plugin, just come to your plugin right here and just click on Williams Academy. I'm just going to open like this. And you have the ability to customize and place the plugin anywhere you want to put it inside of Photoshop. So I'm going to leave it right here and just open it like this. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate my background layer by pressing Ctrl J to duplicate my background layer. So after I duplicate my layer, we have the hairpin layer right here. So I'm going to click on this hairpin layer right here. Now what this hairpin layer does, it helps us to see where to dodge and where to burn. So right here we have the dodge and burn help. So if I just turn it on, you're going to see it helps us see where to dodge and where to burn. We also have the dodge and burn black and white layer right here. And we also have the solar curves right here. So you can choose to turn on any one you want. Now this hairpin layer right here is really helpful, especially if you want to do micro dodge and burn. For this solar curve right here, if I just turn it on and I just zoom in, you can see this hair right here. I wasn't seeing them before, but with the help of this solar curve right here, I was able to see this layer right here and I can actually remove them right now. So as we proceed, I'm going to be showing you the function of this hair player right here. Alright, so that's for the hair player. So I'm going to close it right now. Now we have the texture right here, which consists of some tools as you can see. So the first tool right here, we have this spot healing brush tool, which you can use to remove blemishes for your image. So this texture tab right here is simply tools that you can use to remove blemishes from your image. So if I just zoom in and I want to remove blemishes from my image, once I pick this tool right here, which is this spot healing brush tool, it's going to automatically create a new empty adjustment layer for me. So I'm just going to zoom in like this and just paint on the blemishes I want to remove. I'm just going to remove the blemishes for me, just like that. And you can change the shape and the settings of this spot healing brush tool if you don't like it, but I really like it because this is specially for beauty image. So all the brush is accessed to retouch beauty image, but if you want to change it to fit your taste, all you have to do is just click and just change the brush settings the way you want. So you can choose to change the angle of the brush. And if you want to save the brush, just hold Ctrl and click on the brush. I'm just going to save the brush settings. So if you want to retouch another image, you don't have to keep changing it. So you're just going to save the brush settings for you. And if you feel you want to reset it to the original, all you have to do is press on alternate and click on this brush right here. And just going to pop up this command and asking you if you are sure you want to reset the brush. So if you are sure, just click on reset right here. Once you click on reset, now if you select the brush again, it's just going to reset the brush for you to the original brush settings. But I feel I'm just going to customize it the way I want. So like this works for me. And I'm just going to click on Control and click on the brush settings to set the brush. So I'm just going to remove the blemishes from this image using the spot healing brush tool. Now we also have the healing brush tool right here. So if you want to use the healing brush tool, once you select it, it's going to open another texture adjustment layer for you. Now to use this healing brush tool, all you have to do is press alternate to sample and just brush on the blemishes you want to remove. Alternate to sample and just paint on the blemishes you want to remove, just like that. So basically, I'm just removing the blemishes from this image. So right here, we also have the close stamp tool. So once I select this close stamp tool soft, it's just going to open up a brush for me. So you can see it's already pre-installed brush settings, but if you don't like it, you can actually change it. So like I said, these settings are specially for beauty images like this. So I'm going to take the opacity to 100 and take the flow to about 84 or 87. 85 works for me. And just right click and just change the angle. So if you want to bring this menu, you can either right click or you can come to the brush settings right here and just change the angle from this place right here. Like that's the way you want it. Alright. So I'm just going to sample and just remove the blemishes from this image using the close stamp tool. So alternate to sample and just brush over any blemishes you want to remove. Alternate to sample and just brush over any blemishes you want to remove. So make sure you actually take your time to remove the blemishes from your image. It's very, very, very important. And not just the close stamp tool, we also have the remove tool. So once you click on this remove tool right here, you can just paint on any image you want to, any part of the blemishes you want to remove. So if you're using this remove tool, make sure you're painting on a small portion of the image. So if I want to remove this place right here, I'm just going to paint over the blemishes and just click on good to remove that blemish right there. Or you can click on remove after each stroke. Instead of clicking good, it will automatically remove the blemishes for you. So let's say I want to remove this line right here. I'm just going to paint on the line I'm just going to remove it like that. So this is how the remove tool actually works. So you can use any of those tools right there to remove your blemishes. So I'm just going to remove the blemishes from this image right now. All right. And there's also an AI tool right here, which will automatically remove the blemishes for you. And I'm going to show you how that works. With the AI texture tool, just click on it and just select any portion of the blemishes you want to remove, just a small portion. Make sure the portion you are selecting is actually small, because this AI works best with a small portion. And once you're done, just click on generate. I'm just going to show you 2 options to choose from. So you can pick on any one you like. And if you don't like any one I'll show you on your screen, you can actually click on generate again and select any other option. You actually need a strong computer for this feature to function properly. And also you can use this AI tool to work on the hair. So if you want to work on the hair, you can just use the AI tool to actually try to fix the hair. But this AI tool actually works on small portion of your image, but you can experiment it with the hair and see if you actually like the result you are getting. So I'm just going to continue removing the blemishes for this image. All right. Okay, we've successfully removed the blemishes for this image. So let me just group everything we did for the blemishes so you can see the before and after. So this is the before and the after. The before and the after. Now, next tab we have right here is the focus separation. So we have the focus separation via Gaussian blur and the focus separation via median blur. I'm just going to click on this focus separation via Gaussian blur. So what this does for us is that it just separates the colors from the textures. And from here, you can also use the high frequency to remove blemishes from your image. I personally prefer to use the focus separation method to actually remove blemishes from my image. Now let me show you how that works. So once I play that action via Gaussian blur, it's just going to load this layer for me. So you can see right here, we have the low frequency of the colors. We have this corrective tone, I'll get to that. And we have this high frequency, I have this high frequency texture copy right here. Now this high frequency texture copy is where all the blemishes are. So if you want to remove the blemishes from your image, just make sure this high frequency texture copy right here, which is this first one, is selected. And just pick your close stamp tool and just zoom in on your image and just press alternate to sample from the close by area and just paint on any blemishes you can still see on your image. So like I said earlier, me personally, I prefer to use this method to remove blemishes from my image instead of working directly on the background layer, because I feel it gives the best results because we successfully separated the textures from the colors. So I feel I'm working directly on the textures. So whatever I do is not going to affect the colors or the image. So that's why I personally prefer to use the focus separation methods to remove my blemishes. It works better for me. Right, since we've already taken time to remove the blemishes for this image earlier, we really don't have a lot of blemishes to remove right here. So I just want to show you how it works so you get idea of how you can actually use the high frequency texture to remove blemishes from your image. So let's quickly see the before and after of what I've done so far so you can see the effects. Okay, so this is the before and this is the after. You just remove a bit of blemishes still present on the image. All right, now we have the low frequency and we have this corrective tool. Now we're going to be working on this corrective tool, and there are 2 ways you can actually work with this corrective tool layer right here. So once you select the corrective tool, just make sure this high frequency texture right here is turned off. Once you turn it off, it's just going to show only the colors of the image. So this is the before and this is after. You can see just showing only the colors of the image. So what you can do, you can actually pick your normal brush tool. Once you pick your normal brush tool, just make sure your opacity is set to about 20%. Once your opacity is set to 20%, just sample from a close by area. So let's say I want to fix the color right here. I'm just going to sample color from this place and just paint it over this place right here to fix the color of that particular place right there, just to even out the color out. So let me just quickly do this and show you the effect. So make sure you are sampling color from a close by area and just paint it over anywhere you want to fix the color. So I'm going to sample from here and just paint it over here to fix the color right there. So alternate to sample color and just paint it over where you want to fix like that, just to make the color look even. So I'm just going to do this right now and show you the before and after. All right, so look at the before, see the before and the after, the before and the after, the before and the after. And that's what you can do. And another advantage of this corrective tool, if you make any mistake, you can just pick your eraser tool and just erase it, everything you did, instead of deleting the frequency separation and starting all over from scratch. So it's very important to work on this corrective tool right here. Now that's what you can do. You can just hide this high texture copy right here. Pick your mixer brush tool. Once I pick my mixer brush tool, you can use any mixer brush settings that works for you. and just paint over the image like this. All right, to smoothen it out. So let me just quickly show you before and after. So this is the before and the after. As you can see, the before and the after. And you can do the same thing for the highlights. Just smoothing out the colors right there on the highlights. Just make everything look even, just like that. So this is the before and this after. If you feel it's too much, you can just reduce the opacity just like that. But I'm not going to be retouching this image using focus separation because it's a beauty image, and I prefer to use dodge and burn to actually retouch beauty image like this. So I'm just going to use my eraser tool to erase everything I did on this corrective tone, and just use dodge and burn to actually retouch the skin to make it look smooth like that. Alright, so that's for the focus separation via Gaussian blur. Now this focus separation via media blur is exactly the same thing like the focus separation Gaussian blur. So once I just play that action, it's just going to load. So once that loads, you can see right here, we still have the low frequency colors at 2, we still have this corrective tone, and we still have a high texture copy. So it's the same thing as this focus separation via Gaussian blur. Now the next section we have right here is the dodge and burn section, which is very important, and this is what I'm going to be using to retouch the skin of this image. Now we have 3 options. We have the global dodge and burn, we have the macro dodge and burn, and we have the 50% grade dodge and burn, which is the regular dodge and burn. Now for this global dodge and burn, I'm just going to click on it. It's just going to load the global dodge and burn for me. So with the global dodge and burn, we are basically trying to even out the way light falls on the subject. So I'm going to be working on the bright and the dark part of the image. So right here on the layer, we have strong brightening, and we have mid brightening, we have strong darkening, and we have mid darkening. Alright. So the good thing about it is that you have total control over this image. So if you want to change the value, all you have to do is click on the curves and click on properties and just change the curve value. But if I leave it the way it is, because this plugin is specifically for beauty images like this one right here. So what I want to do with this global dodge and burn, I want to make the bright part of the image a little bit darker and the dark part of the image a little bit brighter, just to even out everything and make the image look smooth. So I'm just going to come back to my hair player right here and just click on this dodge and burn layer right here, so that I can see where to dodge and where to burn. And also click on this black and white hair player right here. Now I feel the effect is too strong. So what I'm going to do right now, like I said earlier, you have total control of the settings of this plugin. So I'm going to click on this curve right here and just change the volume. I feel it's looking too dark. I'm just going to take it up a little bit so that I can actually see where to dodge and where to burn more better. So like this works for me. So since it's global dodge and burn, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit like this. Now you can see the forehead right here is looking too dark. So I'll come to my mid brightness right here. Pick my normal brush tool. Change the opacity to about 2% or 3%. And leave the flow at about 100, and make sure you're using the white brush because the layer mask is on black. So just increase your brush size, your square bracket key, and I'm just going to paint on this place right here that is looking a bit dark. Okay, so I feel the effect is not strong enough, so I'll come to this strong brightening right here and just use this to paint on this dark part right here, just to bring out the brightness of that particular place. Now since this is global dodge and burn, we are just going to focus on the obvious place. And later, we are going to use macro dodge and burn to zoom in and actually do those pores just to make everything smooth. So you can see I'm just basically making the dark part of the image a lot brighter and the bright part of the image a lot darker. Now since I'm working with a light skin, I'm going to be doing more of dodging instead of burning. So basically, I'm going to be working more with brightening, just like that. Okay, do the same thing for this place right here. Alright, so I'm going to go back to mid brightening and just paint on the obvious place or the image. Alright, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Just come back to strong. Remember to switch between mid and strong, just like that. Okay, just paint on this place. Do the same thing for here. So let me quickly show you what I've done so far so you can have an idea of what I'm trying to accomplish or what I'm trying to do. So this is the before and the after. You can see this dark place on the hair, the before and the after is now looking bright, the before and the after. So if I just turn off my hair player, you are going to see the image right now in color. So this is the before and the after. You can see we are already making the image look smooth. Just take a look at this part right here, the before and the after. Look at the forehead, the before and the after. And that's what you can do. If you feel the effect is too strong, you can just come to your opacity and just reduce the opacity a little bit like so. But for now, I'm going to leave it at 100 and just do the same thing for the whole of the image before we go to macro dodge and burn. Alright, turn on my layers again and continue doing the same thing for this image. Alright. Alright, so let's quickly see the before and after. I'm just going to turn this hair player off. So this is the before global dodge and burn and after global dodge and burn. before global dodge and burn and after global dodge and burn. Let me just show you how you can use macro dodge and burn to go in depth to actually make the image more smoother. Now I'm just going to open the panel again and just click on macro right here. I'm just going to load macro for me. Now this fix brightness right here is to fix the bright part of the image. So look at this highlights right here. If I just paint on it, it's just going to make it dark. While this pause right here is to make a particular place bright. So if I just paint on it right now, it's just going to make this place bright like that. Alright, now that you have the idea of what I'm trying to do, I'm just going to zoom in even more and just on my dodge and burn layer again. And this time, take the flow of my normal brush tool to about 1% and just brush on the pores of the image. So you can see this dark pores right here. I'm just going to paint on it just to make it bright, just like that. I think I'll take my flow to 2%. Now this macro dodge and burn right here actually takes a lot of time. So just actually take your time to retouch your image. So when I retouched this image originally, it took me about 2 hours to actually retouch this image using this method. So just take your time to actually do it. But I'm just going to show you how it was right now. And I'm just going to do a speed wrap so you can see the before and the after. Alright. So I'm just going to paint on those parts that are looking a bit too dark and just bring them up. While for this fuse brightness, those parts that are looking too bright, I'm just going to paint on them just to darken it a little bit, just to even out everything right there, just to make everything look so much even. Okay. So I'm going to continue painting. So make sure you are painting with a white brush. And you can choose to change the opacity if you want. So I'm going to take the opacity to 0% and just paint just like so. Alright. So I'm going to do this for the whole of the image. So let me quickly show you what I'm doing so you can actually have an idea of what I'm trying to do for the whole of the image. Okay. So take a look at this part right here. The before and the after. You can see the before and the after. Let me just turn off this hair layer so you can actually see. So this is the before and the after. You can see those parts that are looking a little bit dark right here are now bright. The before and the after. The before and the after. So basically that's what I'm going to do for the whole of the image. And also if you feel it's too much, you can just come to your opacity and just reduce the opacity. Alright, I'm going to be doing that for the whole of this image right now. Okay. Alright, now let's see the before and after. So this is before our macro dodge and burn and after our macro dodge and burn. Now let's just turn off this layer right here so you can see the before and after. So let me just zoom in so you can see. This is the before and the after. The before and the after. You can see the image is looking smooth and we still have textures on the image. So that's how this macro dodge and burn actually works. Now the next tool we have right here is this 50% grade tool. So if I just click on it, now this is pretty easy to use. So if I want to darken, I'll just make sure my black brush is selected and just darken the particular parts just like that. While if I want to brighten, I'm going to switch to a white brush and just brighten a particular part just like that. So that's how this grayscale actually works. So I'm going to delete it because I really don't need it. Now let's move to the front part. Now before we move to the front part, let me just group everything we've done so far so you can see. So this is the before and the after. So that's what we've done so far. Now we have a quick selection right here. So this quick selection is if you want to select the skin, if you want to select the highlights, and if you want to select the shadow of your image. We'll get to that. So we have this color correction tool right here. Now with this skin tool, you can actually select the skin tone and color grade the skin tone and actually make color correction on the skin tone. So let me just select this skin tool right here, and this plugin will automatically select and detect my skin tone for me. So let's just allow it load. Now you can see it has loaded some settings for us. Now all you have to do is to paint white on this black mask right here to reveal the skin. So just paint on the skin to reveal the skin. You can either paint manually or you can just make a selection of the skin. So just click on the skin right here. So make a selection of the skin and apply it to this black mask right here. So once I click on the skin, it's just going to select the skin for me. And what I can do, I can just press alternate with this black layer mask selected. Press alternate, I click on delete or backspace. It's just going to bring that selection for me right there. I click on D to deselect. So what I can do, I can just use my black brush to remove it from the lips. So I'm going to paint black on the lips to remove that effect from the lips. And also remove it from the eyes, like so. Alright, also remove it from this part right here. I don't want it to be on this part. Just like that. Now we have that color on the skin. And if you want to make sure it's on the skin, just click on this slash key right here on your keyboard. I'm just going to show you where it's selected. So you can see right now, the part that are selected. The part that are not selected are the red. Alright, I'm going to hide this mask again. And right now, you can see the skin tone is selected. Now this plugin just try to fix the skin tone for us. Now see the before and the after. You can see the skin tone color right there has changed. And if I scroll the way down, we have different options right here. So if I just click on this pick skin tool right here, we have different skin tool to pick from. So there are 4 different skin tone. Let me just turn all of them off. So this is the original skin tone. Now this is the first one. You can see it's kind of greenish yellow. I really don't like it. So this is the second one. Looking good, but I'm still seeing some kind of greenish tint on the image. So I'm going to hide that one. So look at this third one right here. All right. So this third one looks good. All right. So let's look at the fourth one. This is the fourth one right here. Now I feel this second one right here looks good for this image. And also you can actually tweak it. Like I said earlier, there are a lot of options. You have control on this plugin. So if you want to change the color, just click on the gradient right here and click on the drop down icon. From here, you can change the gradient the way you want, or you can even add color by clicking on this place right here and just add any color you want to the skin, just like that. So as you can see, you have control, total control over this plugin. But I feel this skin tone works for me. I'm going to click on OK. Another thing you can do, you can adjust the brightness of this skin tone. So just click on this brightness right here to turn it on, and click on this black and white right here, and just click on properties to bring the properties. If you want to increase the brightness, just play with the slider of the red and the yellow. So if I take the red down, I'm decreasing the brightness. If I take the red up, I'm increasing the brightness. Same thing for the yellow. If I take it down, I'm reducing the brightness. If I take it up, I'm increasing the brightness, just like that. So I think I'm just going to reduce it. I think I'm just going to increase it a little bit more, like so. So like this works for me. Let's take it up a little bit, like so. Like this works for me, 60. So this is the before and the after. It works for me. And if you want to change the color, or you want to make a specific color more intense, you can just click on this selective color right here, double click on it. It's going to bring the properties, and you can add cyans to the red like this, or remove cyans from the red like this. You can do the same thing for the magenta as the yellow. You can also do the same thing for the yellows right here. I think I'm going to add a little of red to the yellow. So I'm going to come to the yellow slider right here and just take it towards the red side like this to add a little bit of red to the yellows. That it works for me. So that's for the skin tone. Now, this is the before and the after. The before and the after. You can see the hand right here is also trying to fix the hand color right there. So this is the before. You can see it's kind of green, and this is the after. It's just fix that. And that's what you can do if you feel the effect is too much, because right now I feel the effect is looking too much. You can just come to the opacity and just reduce the overall opacity of the skin tone, just like that. So I think 80 works for me. Now this is the before and this is the after. So with this eyes right here, you can actually change the color of your eyes and actually make the eyes white. All you have to do is click on eyes right here. It's just going to load. Now once that load, you have different options right here. All you have to do is just paint on the eyes. Alright, now if I want to make the eyes white, I'm just going to zoom in. Now I'm going to pick my normal brush tool. Make sure I'm using a soft fan brush. Make sure my foreground is set to white because the mask is on black. And just paint on only the bright part of the eyes, just like this. Okay. And if you make a mistake and paint inside the eyes, just switch to a black brush by pressing X on your keyboard and just remove it from the eyes, like so. And I'll do the same thing for this other eyes right here. I'm just going to paint white on the eyes right here like this. So as you can see, it's also removing those eye veins for us. And I'm going to show you how you can actually bring them back if you want to bring them back. So that this works for me. This is the before and the after. The before and the after. Now if you want to bring back the veins of the eyes, you can just come to this remove eye vessel and just take the opacity down a little bit to bring more of the eye vessel. So I feel like this works for me. Alright, so this is the before and this is the after. Now if you want to change the color of the eyes, all you have to do is come all the way down to eye color right here. With this black mask selected, use a white brush like this and just paint on the part of the eyes which you want to change. As you automatically paint this cyan color right there, like so, and paste it on this one like this. Okay, and just remove it from where you don't want it to be with your black brush like that. Alright, so this is the before and this is the after. And you can actually change the color. Now if you don't like this color right here, all you have to do is scroll all the way down to this hue and saturation right here. Click on the hue and saturation, double click on it, and it's going to show. Now just move the hue slider and select any color that actually fits your image. So I feel this yellow that comes with the image actually fits it. So I'm going to leave it like that and maybe increase the intensity a little bit. And maybe increase saturation a little bit like this. Okay, now see the before and the after. The before and the after. You can actually make it darker or more brighter. So just click on this curve right here, double click on it, and just reduce the brightness or increase the brightness if that's what you want. So I'm going to take it down a little bit like so. So this is the before and the after. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to reduce the opacity of the overall eye color. So I'm going to take it all the way down like so to make it look more natural. So this is the before and this is the after. Now let's see overall the iris retouch. Let's see the overall eye retouch. I'm just going to group both of them. Alright, so this is for the eyes, the before and the after. The before and the after. From here, you can choose to reduce the overall opacity of the eyes to make it look more natural. Okay. Now I'm going to open up the panel again, and right here we have the glow. Now this glow is if you want to make the highlights bright. So if I just click on glow right here, it's just going to load. And right here, all I have to do is just paint on only the highlights of the image. So instead of painting manually with a white brush, so I can just select the highlight right here. So I'm going to click on highlights and just going to select the highlights on the image for me with this quick selection right here. Now you can see only the highlight is selected. Now with this layer mask selected, I can just hold alternate and just click on backspace. I'm just going to apply that selection on the highlight part of the image and press on Ctrl D to deselect. Alright, so this is the before and the after. You can see it's making the nose a little bit brighter, the before and the after. And you can actually increase the intensity or decrease the intensity if you want. So just double click on this curve right here and just take it all the way up to make it more brighter, or take it all the way down to make it less brighter. But I feel the original works for me, so I'm going to press on Ctrl Z to deselect. So this is the before and this is the after. And I think I want to paint a little bit more to the lips, and with my white brush selected, I'm just going to paint manually on the lips just to make it a little bit more brighter, just like that. Okay, now this is the before and the after, the before and the after. And speaking of the lips, there's a part I forgot to mention at the beginning. So you can see this edge right here, which is this close stamp tool edge. You can actually use it to make the lips smooth. So if I just click on this, you're going to open adjustment layer for me. So I'm going to take this adjustment layer up like this. Now it's just going to load this close stamp tool for me. Now I'm going to increase my brush size. Now this edge right here actually works more on the lips. So I'm going to right click and just bring back my brush settings and just bend this the way I want to fit the lips so that this works for me. So I'm going to press alternate to sample from a close by area and just paint on the edge of the lips just like that. So I'm going to resize my brush again and just paint it on the edge of the lips. So that's how you can use this edge brush right there, just to make everything look really smooth like that. Alright, so I'm going to resize my brush again and just paint on this part right here on the lips, sample from a close by area and just paint on this part right here just to make everything look more sweet like that. Alright, so this is the before and this is after. You can see the edges of the lips right now are looking so much better. So this is the before and the after. So you can do this for whole of the lips. So that's how this close stamp tool edge right here in this texture tab actually works. Alright, so back to the glow. We've added glow to the highlights of this image. So let me just quickly show you the before and after of what we've done for the glow. So this is the before and the after, the before and the after. So I like it like this. I'm not going to reduce the opacity. Now we have the teeth right here. Now if you want to retouch the teeth or make the teeth bright, just click on teeth right here. I'm just going to load, and all you have to do is just paint on the teeth and just going to remove, if there's any yellows on the teeth, it's just going to remove it like that. So just paint that effect using a white brush and just paint on the teeth. Now this teeth looks good already. So this is the before and the after. So if you open this teeth group right here, we have some options which you can actually adjust if you want to, but I'm not going to adjust it because it looks good already. So I'm going to zoom in like this. Now let's just group everything we've done so far so you can actually see the before and after before we move on. So this is the before and the after. Alright, next we have the blush right here. Now let's say you want to add blush to your image. So all you have to do is just click on blush right here and just pick your normal brush tool. Make sure you use a soft hand brush with your white brush selected. Just paint on the blush area like that, just to reveal the effects like this, and do the same thing for this part right here. Now if you feel it's too much, what you can do, just reduce the opacity even more, or click on the properties and just feather it. And if you want to change the blush color, what you have to do is double click on this color right here and just change the blush color to any color you actually want. So let me just play with the colors and see which one works for this image. Alright, so I feel this red actually works. I'm going to take it down a little bit like this, so like this works for me. Alright, so this is the before and the after, the before and the after. I'm just going to reduce the opacity a little bit more to about 7%. So the before and the after, it works for me. So I'll open this layer again. Now we have the lips right here. Now if you want to change the color of the lips, all you have to do is click on this lips right here. I'm just going to load. Now just paint a white brush on the lips. So make sure you just paint a white brush on the lips to reveal the color right there. So like this, just paint on the lips right here, just like that. Okay. Now you can actually use any selection tool to actually select the lips to get more accurate result. But I feel I'm going to get an accurate result with this method right here. So make sure you're not brushing on the teeth. Make sure you're brushing on only the lips. Okay. And do the same thing for the down part of the lips. If you made a mistake and just brush on the image or the skin, just use a black brush to remove it from this area you don't actually want it, and switch to a white brush again by pressing X on your keyboard, and just paint on only where you need that effect to show, like so. Alright, we've made selection of the lips. So this is the before and the after, the before and the after. And if you want to make it brighter, just click on this colorful lips right here. I'm just going to make it brighter and just click on this darker to turn the dark off. But I prefer this dark right here. I'm going to turn the dark and turn off this colorful lips right there. Now to refine this lip and make it look more natural, just double click on this part right here. Once you double click on it, you're going to open up the layer style. So just move the highlight slider like this to make it look more natural. And just reveal the highlights like this, so you can see as I'm moving it, it's making it look more natural. So if I take it all the way down, you can see the highlights are not that visible. But by moving it up and just splitting it, you can see the highlights right there are now visible. So you can also play with the shadow area and see which one works on your image. So just play with this slider right here and see how it works on your image. So like this works on me, I'm going to click on OK. Now see the before and the after. Now to change the lip color, all you have to do is double click on this color right here and just move the slider down like this to change the lips color to any color you actually want. So I feel this color right here works for me. I'm going to click on OK. So for me, you can choose to reduce the opacity even more to make it look more realistic. So this is the before and the after, the before and the after. And I'm just going to group everything and show you the before and after of what we've done so far, so you can see. All right, now this is the before and this is the after, the before and the after. Now I feel the lip is looking too much, so I'm going to open this group again and just come to the lips and just reduce the opacity of the lips a little bit like so. All right, okay. Now the before and after, that works for me. Now once you feel you've done, just click on this finish right here. So once you click on finish, it's just going to add that punchy feel to your image, as you can see right now. So this is the before and the after. I just make the image a little bit more punchy, and you can choose to reduce the opacity if you want, like this. All right, and for these details right here, they are locked because you need to purchase those brush before you can actually access those details right here. And also for the skin texture, you need to purchase the skin textures before you can actually have access to these options right there. And if you want to save your image, you can actually save your image right here as TIFF file, as PSB, as JPEG, or save for Instagram, or save for AI. If you click on this save for AI, you're just going to save everything for these 4 formats for you, just like that. So let me quickly show you before and after we're starting from and where we are right now. This is the before and this is the after. If you're a beauty photographer, or you're a photographer that shoots headshots, or you're a retoucher that retouch beauty images, I highly recommend you get this plugin because it's specifically designed to retouch beauty images. And also I'll be leaving a link where you can get it in the description below. I'll also be doing a comparison between this plugin right here and the Retouching Academy in my next video. Check out this video right here. I'll see you guys in my next one. Stay creative.